Hey guys, Free Play Frank. Today I'm going to have a discussion with you guys about rejection. What it is, why it happens, and how to handle it. And then later I'm going to play a really cool song from an Australian band called the Lonesome Loser by their Little River Band. Now my shout out tonight goes to Teal Swan. Now Teal is a spiritual guidance counselor. I believe that would be a good way of describing her. And she's a former sexual abuse survivor. And over the past 10 years or so, she's racked up quite a reputation for being a counselor for abuse and for improving your life and so on. And she used to bill herself as the spiritual catalyst. But in recent years, she's done more along the lines of relationship counseling type videos. So check her channel out. You'll learn lots. She's great. Alright, let's do it. Alright, now we're going to have a discussion about rejection. First off, what is rejection? Hi, Brownie. Rejection is a natural selection type of a thing where things are selected based on how desirable or how necessary they are. So, supposing you're going to ask a lady out on a date, and she looks you up and down and she says, "Sorry, I'm not interested, you're not my type." Well, she's deselected you as not a suitable match for her. So what you need to do, guys, is you need to look at it like that she's doing you a favor. Because she knows that she can never satisfy you because you're not her type. So you're always going to be frustrated trying to please her and trying to get her to do the things you want to do and so on. And she's never going to be happy and you're never going to be happy. So just think about it like that, guys. If she says no thank you, or sorry I have a boyfriend, or sorry I'm not interested, she's doing you a favor. That's all you have to do, guys. Just say thanks, enjoy the rest of your evening, love, and go talk to somebody else. Now, suppose you're being rejected for a job interview, and you go in there and you're all excited about getting this job driving a truck. But perhaps maybe you've never driven a truck before. Maybe all you've ever driven is a car with an automatic transmission. And this company wants you to drive a Kenworth with a 13 speed. Well, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, "I'm sorry, son, you're not ready for this job. And you're going to have to try somewhere else because we need someone that's got more experience than you." So you're going to be disappointed because you're dreaming about driving a truck. Isn't that right, Brownie? You're dreaming about driving a truck. I know you are. So all you have to do is you just have to say, "Okay, thanks, I appreciate your time," and just go and apply for a job somewhere else. Maybe, doing something that's not so technical, like you work at the grocery store or do construction cleanup, something like that. Anything to pay your bills while you learn how to drive a truck. And you go take truck driving lessons, or you go make friends with somebody that has trucks that they'll teach you how to drive. Here, look at the camera, Brownie. Brownie just wants to look at me, he doesn't want to look at the camera. Yeah, okay, I love you too. So that's all you got to do, guys. If you get rejected on a job interview because you don't have enough experience, or they're looking for something different from what you're able to provide, simply say thank you for your time and leave and go do something else. Because eventually you will get what you want if you just keep working at it little by little. Now let's talk about creative, like bands auditioning for acting roles, those types of things. Now this gets a little bit more emotional for a lot of people because the people that tend to hire band members or casting directors and things like that can often be very unpleasant people to deal with. So you go in there and you say, "Well, I'm looking for a job as an actor. What kind of shows are you putting on? I like Clint Eastwood. I can do a good Clint Eastwood," or something like that. And he'll say, "Sorry, son, it's not what we're doing. We're doing shows about Kung Fu," something like that. And he says, "Well, I could do Kung Fu." "Well, no, sorry, son, you're not right for this part. Thanks for applying anyways, and good luck to you." That's if he's a nice person. if he's a narcissist or one of those self-indulgent kind of people like we always hear about that work in entertainment, he might say something along the lines of, "Where the hell did you learn how to act, son? Out of a Cracker Jack box? Who let you in here?" You know, and then you're going to feel like, "Oh man, what did I do to piss this guy off? You know, oh, I must be a really rotten actor." Well, no, you're not a rotten actor. You're just not right for his part. And he's got issues. So sometimes when someone comes along that's putting themselves in a vulnerable position, like where they're asking for a job, that gives him a power kind of a thing where he gets power over you, and he can turn around and get some enjoyment by shooting you down and hurting your feelings. See where I'm going with this, guys? You know, that happens in the entertainment industry. You know, I know all about it from being a musician. I've applied for dozens of bands, maybe hundreds over the course of the time I've played, and I've had everything from, "Oh wow, you can play guitar, that's wonderful," all the way down to, "Where'd you learn to play guitar? Out of a Cracker Jack box, and my 5-year-old could sing better than that." And it used to really bother me when I was younger. Like it became to the point where it was a significant deterrent for me to apply for bands, because I got so good at reading people by the time I was in my 20s that if I would look at the band leader and I could tell what kind of personality he had, and if he had one of those dark kind of snarky kind of personalities, then I wouldn't bother to apply for his band. You know, it didn't matter what kind of music they played or how badly I want to join. If it had people like that in it, I wouldn't apply for it. But I outgrew that because I realized that all those types of, when people treat you that way, it's like I said in my bullying video, they're just simply insecure in some way or another, and they figured out that they can get some kind of enjoyment by hurting or disappointing or snubbing other people. So when you see people like that and people treat you like that, you don't want to be a part of their project, guys. Like I've gone to band rehearsals where there's a person like that every time somebody makes a mistake, they bust out laughing. Or if you suggest doing a song that maybe the song maybe it was written by someone that's gay or something like that, and he just goes into some kind of this really dark kind of tirade, you know, trashing gay people, and then maybe thinking you're gay because you suggested playing it or something like that. Yeah, Brownie, I love you too. And when that happens, I just put the guitar back in the case and I say, "Thanks guys, but I'm not interested in this project if you guys are going to act like that." I outgrew that in grade 11. So when that happens to you guys, just don't take it personally. It's not something that you've done, you know, it's just their personality types. But there are a few issues with rejection that you do have to take responsibility for. The main one is not being genuine or not being authentic. Like suppose you're applying for that truck driver job, but you know that you've never driven a truck before, and you just think, well, I'm going to fake it till I make it. You know, they'll let me drive, you know, they'll like me, I'm a cool guy, I love trucks, you have no choice but to hire me. Well, no guys, because you're driving a $100,000 piece of equipment that is a huge responsibility, and the transmissions in those things cost $15,000, so if you destroy the transmission trying to learn how to drive it, who's going to pay for a new transmission? You see where I'm going with this, guys? So if he's a nice employer, he'll just say, "Sorry, you don't have enough experience, come back in 5 years after you've been driving for 5 years and we'll consider you." If he's not a nice guy, he'll say, "Where'd you learn to drive a truck out of a Cracker Jack box? Get out of here, kid." So those kind of things will happen when you're not being genuine, and that goes for asking ladies out on dates and stuff as well. If you're saying, "Oh, I'm the best lover in town, I've been with 100 women and I can do this and I can do that," and then she goes to sleep with you and you can't even stay hard long enough because you've never been with a woman, you know, you've just made the biggest blunder of all time with the fake it until you make it. Like, that's just not going to work, guys. And then the worst thing about that is ladies like to gossip. She'll tell every lady she knows how bad you were, and then when you make a move on them, they're going to do the same thing and say, "No, thank you." Isn't that right, Brownie? Isn't that right, Brownie? You know, you really should look at the camera. I gotta teach you some manners. Hard to teach goats manners. But anyways, I hope you're getting where I'm going with this, guys. That if people turn you down, it's simply natural selection, and they're doing you a favor. And if they're rude or inappropriate with their comments and stuff like that, then they're the type of people that you don't want to associate with anyways. So just consider that doing you a favor as well, or giving you the heads up of saying what kind of people we are. And there are the odd time where some professional musician will see a young musician, or a professional truck driver will see a young truck driver that's just starting out, and they'll see potential there. You can, you know, if they're not kicking you out of there right away, sometimes that's all it is, and you've just got to like show up every day and do your best, and eventually they'll accept you. You'll earn your place. So that does happen. That's not that common, but it does happen. So yeah, I hope you get some ideas out of this. Like, don't blame yourself, guys. Like, I can say that 100 times over, but it's true. You know, you're just as good as everybody else. You deserve to get what you want out of life. You deserve to get a great lover, or a great partner, and a great job, and live in a place that you love, and do things that you love. Isn't that right, Brownie? So just keep at it, guys. Don't let them talk you out of it. Don't let them break your dreams. Okay, that'll be it for today, guys.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser, beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying. Sit down, take a look at yourself. Don't you want to be somebody? Someday somebody's gonna see inside. You have to face up. You can't run and hide. Have you heard about the lonesome loser, beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying. Unlucky in love, that's what they say. He lost his head and he gambled his heart away. Kept on searching till there's nothing left. He staked his heart and lost. Now he has to pay the cost. Have you heard about the lonesome loser, beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying. It's okay, he smiles and says, though his loneliness is driving him crazy. We don't know what goes on in his head, but if you watch very close, you'll see it all. Sit down, take a look at yourself. Don't you want to be somebody? Someday somebody's gonna see inside. You have to face up. You can't run and hide. Have you heard about the lonesome loser, beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser. loser, but he still keeps on trying. Have you heard about the lonesome loser? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? I said, have you heard about the lonesome loser? Alright, that was a song by the Little River Band from 1979 called The Lonesome Loser. Thanks guys for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Take care.